Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, today I wanted us to talk about Cinder and her character flaws. That the flaws that are within her character. I thought this would be a very interesting discussion, considering that Cinder is going to be very well brought up after this chapter and everything, so I thought this would be a very interesting thing to talk about. So, sit back, relax, and I hope you all enjoy. So, let's go ahead and dive on in. So now, of course, as we know, Cinder herself was successful in obtaining the maiden powers, making Beacon fall, and, killing Ozpin in Volume 3. I mean, of course, it wasn't a permanent kill on Ozpin, but you get what I mean. His permanent host was killed. Now, of course, although this was actually successful, this doesn't mean that her character is perfect by any means. And as we further got to see her character within, more of Volume 2 and Volume 3, we did learn a few things about Cinder, and we learned about her flaws as a character within her own personality, which seemed to be very interesting looking at Cinder, considering that she sees herself and highly regards herself as, I guess, I wouldn't say perfect, but as, I guess, the best around, or one of the best around. Two of those personalities, or those traits that she has that creates flaws for her, would really be upon her own ego, and another really big one, which would actually be her anger. Her anger, she has bad temperament, and that obviously, contributes to how she treats other individuals around her. Because the one thing about Cinder and about how she tried to get her jobs done was with anybody that followed her, anyone that was in her faction or that was under her, she actually, she would treat them with respect if they did exactly what they were supposed to accordingly, as long as they didn't fail or they did everything the exact way they were supposed to. And one thing about Cinder that we did see, which was in Volume 4, was, it was towards the end, which that was actually after the whole Fall of Beacon thing. She had a lot of revenge and anger that she wanted to throw out onto RWBY, and that goes upon when you see her, I guess you could say, with Emerald and Emerald creating the illusion of RWBY, which then she was basically burning down as if she wanted to see her burnt to death. Now, usually, Cinder, she maintains a calm and collected demeanor, and she can be very cunning whenever she, needs to be. But the thing is that if anybody ever fails her, it's a very different situation. She will become very threatening. She will, if it doesn't go the way she wants, she actually becomes, angered, and she will actually threaten those around her that actually do not cooperate. Cinder also prefers for her goals to be successful regardless of the situation, and she also prefers that such problems be solved very quickly. So, in other words, she has no patience with the plans that goes on, and is seen, to give very direct orders, and she doesn't like to be disobeyed. So, if anybody, goes against her, she will lash out against them, such as she did with Emerald and the backstory, in the beginning of the end, when they actually went after Amber to actually get the Fall Maiden's powers. We also know that Cinder has a lot of arrogance, and one thing that was really proven was when she had a desire for power and dominance, which she's always had. And, Cinder also states that in the flashback that she wants to be feared, and that she, has proven that she enjoys flaunting her superiority, over others because of her power and what she's given, and which she demonstrated by threatening Torchwick, and she also mocked Pyrrha when she was defeated. And of course, another time that we saw her ego actually come out was whenever she believed that she'd make a deal with Raven. Once Raven told her, oh yeah, I'd give you the Spring Maiden, once that, you kill Crow. And of course, she obviously planned on betraying Raven the entire time. That was the whole point, was so that she could just get the Spring Maiden powers as well as actually getting the relic for herself, because, she thought that she was better. She thought that she knew more than Raven. She thought she was smarter. She automatically, just was like, oh, hey, well, I'm better than Raven. But ultimately, she did not have any clue that Raven herself was going to sit there and go, oh, hey, look, I just wanted to let you know Vernal's a decoy. Yeah, that's kind of a last minute thing, because Raven herself also wanted to betray Cinder, which shows that the whole plan was everybody's going to betray everybody. Neither of them were on each other's side, so neither of them saw eye to eye on anything, and it was all just a part of Cinder's ego that she got completely outplayed. And that goes along the lines of what Watts actually talks to her about how he's not going to let her, make an alliance with Raven just because he wants revenge with some girl, aka Ruby Rose. And of course, That doesn't really go over too well because although Watts actually had kind of the right idea there, Cinder lets her temper kind of, take over on that degree again because, as we know, Cinder herself, what does she do? She has to get exactly what she wants. That's just the kind of person Cinder is, and that's the way she looks at things. Cinder's ego and her thirst for power is actually a downfall of hers. It's a problem because, she doesn't rationally think it through, and when she does become enraged, Cinder's monumental temper will then surface, like when she lost to Ruby at Beacon Tower, or whenever she fought Jean, which, at Haven Academy, she then responded with him by saying that he was a failure with the Death Wish. So it shows how far her anger goes too. So her ego, as well as her temperament, can actually, get her into a lot of trouble, which, no spoilers for Chapter 13 for those who haven't seen it yet, but you could say she was on some slick ice. Okay, sorry. That was terrible. But anyways, it just shows you that it got her into some very interesting predicaments that could have been very different if she had actually thought things out instead of rationally let things go through the way they did. But hey, that's just Cinder's character and her flaws in her character. But let me know what you think down below. Tell me if you agree, if you disagree. Just let me know what you think down below. I'd like to hear from you. But anyways, like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and share this with your friends if you found this useful. And thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this. I hope you all enjoyed, and hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day. Take care, everyone.